Okay, perfect. So the topic of today is how to change the deep-rooted program within us, which says, I need to be productive, and to replace it with a fifth dimensional one that serves us much better. And I have chosen this topic for today's meditation mostly because I hear so many people during individual sessions saying how much they feel that this program affects their life in such a matter that even when they take time for being in silence or just for meditating or walking in nature, they feel guilty, they say, for not doing something or not being productive in a way or another. So because I recognize this program as being part of our human conditioning, I can see it in myself as I see it in so many other people, then it would be, lovely to learn how to release it, how to understand it better, how to release it and replace it with something that really serves us. And maybe in this case, because the program comes from the society, and it does come from the last years, let's say 50 to 100 years from the industrial era and so on, when people started to work much more than before, but also work in groups and having a fixed schedule and so on. So since then, this program came into life and it says I need to be productive, but it is very much aligned with an older one that says I need to survive. I need to have everything to be fine. So I need to do something to be sure that I have everything. And then later on, it was replaced with I need to be productive. Which for some people might mean I need to work, I need to make money, I need to be creative. There are all sorts of variations of this program. What happens though is that in the fifth dimensional reality, one knows that any time that one allows for himself, herself, that's a very, let's call it, that's a very uplifting time. Because whenever there is space, what happens in that space is that our human system starts clearing out whatever is not meant to be there anymore. It starts clearing out emotions. It starts clearing out mind patterns. It clears out the body. The health restores, the body regenerates much better. We have studies in that way. We have over 10,000 studies on meditation showing how when we meditate, the body starts regenerating faster. So whenever we allow that space, even if the mind says, well, I'm not doing anything, it's good to know that our system does something. It clears out, it regenerates, it comes back to its natural way of being. So, I asked the question to the higher dimensional beings, I asked the question, why we have lost this? Because for them, for the fifth dimensional beings, this seems to be so natural. They say, well, our free time, our time in meditation, our time in silence is so precious. We truly honor it. So I asked why we have lost this and how come we got to replace it with this program that states I need to do something all the time. I need to be productive. And then they said that, well, as human beings have detached from nature and the natural way and the natural cycle of Earth. As we started to live in a different way, we started to build our houses, to live in, concrete structures, and we are not so much in tune with the natural cycle of the planet. We are not so much in tune with the phases of the moon and the planetary alignments and so on, then because of this detachment, of this disconnection, the human beings have lost the initial, let's not call it program, but the initial intention of allowing enough space for their body to heal and their mind and emotional system to clear. And this is when this program came into life also, that I need to be productive and I need to do something all the time. Yeah, and then we went further and further from the natural ways, from being aligned with the natural cycle of the planet, which is very different than the time that we have invented and the way we relate to time and the changes. So when we come back to this, because we are tuning into the fifth dimensional vibrations, and we come back to nature, and we come back into being in touch with ourselves and what happens within ourselves, then this kind of awareness can come back that says, any time with myself, any time in which I allow the necessary space, any time in which I'm not doing, but I am, that's the time for healing. That's the time for regeneration. That's the time for growing. Actually, studies show that one becomes more creative when one has free time. And out of that creativity, one will definitely, create much better than just following the same patterns again and again, which usually happens when we are into a lot of action, going in the loop all the time. So having such a break actually allows the necessary space for creativity to grow, and for us, of course, to grow out of that creativity. So whenever the mind comes in and it says, well, I need to do something, I need to be productive, allow this to come back to you. Allow the fifth dimensional energies to nourish you once again. Remind yourself, I'm not productive only when I'm doing, but my entire system, my entire inner universe is very much productive when my mind shuts down, when I'm in peace, when I'm calm. Yeah, this is when I regenerate. This is when I go to the next level in my existence. Yeah, and try to feel this in your heart. Try to stay with it a bit, because it's really not something on the surface of the mind. It's something that has been very well rooted in our system. So it's very important, as you decondition your mind, to do it actively and to do it from the space of your heart. Yeah, it's not only convincing your mind it's fine not to do, it's fine to be. It's also about going to that space, that inner space of your heart, and bringing that vibration, that states, I'm fine. It's okay to leave the space here. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to be in meditation. It's fine to take a walk in nature, even a long walk in nature. Actually, before I started to channel, I had 4 years that I took for myself in meditation. I had a simple home somewhere in Romania, a simple house in the countryside. And all that I did was to take care of my son when he was with me, and then to meditate. And those 4 years, I can say, they were the most nourishing years of my life. I've learned much more in those 4 years, in which I haven't used social media. I haven't gone out too much. I have done almost nothing. I can say it now with, a lot of joy. Those 4 years were much more nourishing than all the years I put into, a lot of work and a lot of struggling and a lot of doing and so on. Yeah, and from that time, I could feel a great shift. Yeah, that shift that through which I can say now it's totally fine to be. It's much better to rest. It's much natural Yeah, just to take a walk in nature, or just to be in silence, or just to listen to some music and be in contact to what happens within myself. Yeah, so that program is easily to be replaced if you pay attention to it and actively you tune into the fifth dimensional vibrations. You have all the opportunities. That's why we have so many transmissions, so you can tune into them. And then you allow the program to go away, and you tell yourself, okay, this belongs to the matrix. Yeah, it belongs to the three-dimensional world. I have learned a lot from it, but now I shift further and I allow my vibration to shift as well. Yeah, and then you will discover a lot in that space. You will discover a lot in that peacefulness. Yeah, in that silence, even when there is no peace. Yeah, because it might be in the beginning that you'll feel a lot of agitation doing nothing. Even that, it allows your system to clear out so many emotions, and that's why the agitation is there. Yeah, so be sure to embrace that as well, because in silence, many things that you have stored within you will come up, and that will not be always very much comfortable. Yeah, so this is an invitation from me and all the beautiful higher dimensional beings that I channel to make peace with your silence moments. Yeah, to make peace with being lazy, make peace with being. Yeah, make peace with just sitting in meditation or just sitting and being relaxed. Yeah, this is the invitation that I bring to all of you today. Okay, so now we can meditate together, so we can access that space. And I invite you all to sit in a position in which you can keep your back straight. To close your eyes and to bring your attention into the space of your heart. And as always, I invite you to take a moment in which you imagine how you're in a room, maybe in the room where you are right now or in any other closed space. You're aware of items being around you, like objects, furniture, and so on. But you also realize that there is space in this room. And suddenly you switch your attention from the objects into the space. And you realize that this space is the background for all that is. That without it, there would be no room. Without it, there will be no items. And in the same way, you're shifting your attention from the mind objects into the space that holds them, observing that each and every thought comes from that space and it goes back into it. And you're simply aware. You're aware of how each thought comes and goes, but you're also aware of the spaciousness in which from where it comes and to which it dissolves into. And rather of paying attention to the content of the thought, you simply observe when it rises, for how long does it stay, and where does it go, and when does it go. You're not expecting anything. You're not changing anything. You're simply aware, observing thoughts coming and going, being aware of the space from where they come and where they go. Sometimes you notice that space whenever a thought ceases until the next one comes. You also observe if in this space there are any emotions coming up. You observe them as energy waves coming and going. You might also notice that in this space, your body appears and disappears. And it does relate to the I thought. And with the body, sensations appear and disappear. You're simply witnessing. Witnessing all that which is impermanent. There is no need to engage, no need to identify with. You are not a thought. You are not an emotion. You are not sensations. You observe all that. You are awareness. You are that space in which everything appears and from where it disappears. You're not trying to achieve something. You simply are as you are. Here, there are no positive or negative thoughts. Here, they are all the same. They are all impermanent. They simply come, they stay for a while, and then they go. When you witness, there is no label, no judgment, no low vibration or high vibration. When you witness, you are that space itself, allowing everything to simply come and go. There is no need to reject anything. No need to run after anything. You simply remain as you are. You're not trying to create peace. Peace comes as a result of you not being in conflict anymore. When you're witnessing, there is no conflict. Thoughts will continue to come and go. And now you observe that you can be detached from them. And in that detachment, you allow them to come and go. You are not the mind stories. And none of the mind stories are real or less real. All of those mind stories are thoughts coming and going. You remain as you are. Emotions are not positive or negative. They are just energy waves. Any wave is meant to come and it will stay for a while and then it goes. All energy waves are the same. The mind says this is pleasant or this is unpleasant. But when you witness, you realize that all emotions are simple energy waves coming and going. You remain as the space itself, unbothered by any thoughts or emotions. Unlimited, unbounded, formless, and nameless. Everything can come and go in the space that you are. And though you remain as you are, it is very much like writing on water. Whatever comes and goes cannot stay. It cannot change you. It cannot truly affect your nature. And like letters on the water, they go, they come and go. Peace comes as a result of not rejecting, of not running after something, of being as you are. You are awareness. And in the space that you are, that which is impermanent will also be. Though you remain attached. In this space, fear might arise, worries, agitation, joy, ecstasy. But all this are labels given by the mind to different energy waves coming and going. You're simply observing them. There is no need to resist, no need to engage, no need to wish for more. You're not trying to become something. As awareness, as consciousness, as the space that you are already perfect as you are. And let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Bring your attention back into the space of your heart. And at the end of our meditation today, I invite you all, as always, to take a few moments for what we call the meditation of love and compassion. To share our good intentions, our loving intentions with everyone else. Usually we keep our attention in our heart, and we truly wish for all beings to be happy, to be free of suffering, find peace, love, and compassion. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free of suffering. May all beings find real love, real peace, real happiness. Now we take a deep breath in, we breathe out, then we gently come back. We open our eyes, become aware of our surrounding once again. And thank you very much to all of you who joined the meditation today. And I always support you to keep a good practice in meditation so you can feel well grounded and connected with all that is. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon again. Have a great day. Bye.